Joel Duffy, lived in the town for about 35 years.
My name's Jim Vardeninger. I've been here since 1990.
My name's Marie Breezy. We've lived in Middlemount for 16 years now.
Hi, I'm Vicky Zana. I live here in Middlemount. I've worked at Middlemount Golf Club for like 5 years. I've lived here for 7.
I'm a Middlemount local and I'm Shelley, and I've been living in town for 8 years now.
So I'm hoping to play on the LPGA tour and become a professional lady golfer.
Go back to the late 70s, 1977, and a consortium of companies were put together to tender for some coal areas up in central Queensland. And I went to work for them. I was one of the first of 4 employees. And the basic premise was that we built this reasonably large mine with about 600 employees, and that would require a town for around 2,500 people. As it turned out, it was a really good idea to build a golf course, because when you're creating streets, you have to take away a lot of topsoil, and you've got to put it somewhere. So rather than just place it somewhere, without any purpose, someone came up with the great idea of actually cutting out some fairways and then using that soil to build the mounds for the tees and the greens, and for some, shaping of fairways as we went. The building of a clubhouse was something that was never in the mining company's plans, but of course when you're a resident there, your mind turns to things to do after hours, and and these facilities are a lot of dongas for construction work and for, in the town for temporary accommodation.
The mine at the time obviously had all these dongas left over from the town construction, and they used those dongas and stitched them together side by side, about 10 or 15 of them, and then planked around the outside and chucked a roof over the top, and that was it. And that's how it's been since 1980. Yeah, we've come down today to inspect the containers before they go up to be installed at Middlemount. We've been 2 years in the making with Container Build Group, and it's really good to see the actual final completed product before it goes up, do the final inspections, and that's what we're doing here today.
We were contacted by Jamie Sullivan, the president of Middlemount Golf Club, and that was about 2 years ago, so it's been a long process, planning and getting grants and stuff like that. So, but when we got the green light, which was about 5 weeks ago, we're about 1 week away from being finished the whole job. Yeah, there's 16 containers in the job, and they consist of varying different offices and cold rooms and stuff like that. So when it gets up there, it should be a fairly quick process to complete it and start using it. On site, while we're building the containers, the groundwork's getting done there at the moment. So it's a double-edged sword. So basically we're doing all the footings and groundworks, we're ripping down the old building already. So while that stuff's happening, we're here at the factory building the place. So it should be another 4 to 6 weeks, and then the whole thing is finished.
My name's John Creedon. I'm the builder and project manager on this project. We're local here, we just live out of town, and scored the contract to do the golf club. Jamie engaged us probably about a month ago when we got heavily involved and signed everything up, but it's been an ongoing thing for probably 12 months that we've been looking at it, so it's good to get going. Time-wise, this is early November now, so we're just in the process now of getting the piers down, and the containers are arriving now to be lifted on early next week onto those piers and get fixed and welded to those. We move then to doing the main superstructure, putting all that together, and hopefully, all going well, we'll have a roof on by Christmas. In the local community, the golf club plays a major part because unlike a lot of the mining towns out here, it's the entrance to the town, so it's very important. It's a nice entrance in. You've got the greenery, and it'll be good to have a flash new clubhouse here that's got a restaurant and a nice eating area. So.
For this project to get off the ground, there's been sort of a few key people. One of those would have been Jamie, our club president. He has worked relentlessly on this project since I've been here. He's my partner, so I live with him. I know how much work he's had to do. It would be hundreds of meetings. I mean, at least one, sometimes two, sometimes three a week. Thousands of emails, phone calls, you name it. It's been such hard work, and the project really wouldn't have happened without him driving it. He just has that passion for the club and for the community of Middlemount, which I think is great because, you know, obviously catching up with Gordon, I felt like that community ethos that was there in the first golf club build is very much still present within the current build today. Which I thought was particularly nice, that over the 30 years that the club hasn't lost that sort of dedication from its committee. So no, he's really been crucial to this whole project.
Jamie approached us from the golf club point of view as a fairly big sponsor and supporter of the local community. We've been around in this local community funding and supporting it for a long period, so his proactive steps with engaging with the management myself. I joined Cap Coal Mine over 12 months ago. My first sort of port of call with the local community was with Jamie Sullivan and his social sort of investment in trying to build the golf club to the standard that we're going to see out of this project. So.
Jamie's role has been integral in securing the funding for this project, touching base with so many of our suppliers and previous members to make sure that they understand the impact that the club will have, and that a community like this understands what a club like this means to be a community and will do for the community spirit.
The next 12 months will be interesting. Like anything, when something new's built, everyone comes and gets involved, so it'll be good for the golf club with Jamie and Alice. They do such a good job, especially for the community. Jamie actually come back and played footy for us this year. We were short of numbers, so he come back to help us out. And then everything they do down here is just 100%. So the new club will get heaps of support from the community. So I just hope it lasts longer than 12 months and people just keep coming down supporting it.
The clubhouse is going to be great, I reckon, for the community. Happy to see it all happen. We never thought it would. I was the one who never thought it would because it's been going, you know, on for so long.
And this is really the only other place in town that you can bring a family down and everyone, you know, gets enjoyment out of it.
It's definitely going to be the hustle and bustle in town. Mums catch up for coffee and guys come have a game of golf.
Yeah, if you look at the golf club itself, it's going to be a centre of attraction for dining, a family network, because they're going to run obviously good facilities out there and have a deck. Obviously people like that to enjoy the outdoor Sunday afternoon sort of, I suppose, environment with their friends.
We got there, we were very impressed with the outcome. Thank you for everybody that contributed. We're looking forward to be the family get-together place in town, and also add to the community spirit here of Middlemount, so that everybody's got a spot to come, bring the family and get together and have a good time.
Now that the club's finished, it's great, it's fantastic, nice, fresh, wonderful clubhouse.
Now that the clubhouse is finished, it's good to sit down and have a drink in a contemporary modern building. The old building was pretty dated and run down a bit. Now that we've got this current building here, it's going to be great with the facilities for the children, for the families that come and visit. Going forward, we can have proper functions, invite more people, a broader part of the community to come down and enjoy our facilities together.
Now that the club's finished, I think I feel a little bit of relief, because that was quite a stressful time getting a clubhouse built in a short period of time. But also it's been really exciting because we've got a really good team on board here, so that for me has sort of been, as the manager, the best thing, at the sort of like the cherry on the top, is that I've got a really great team behind me. So yeah, that's a really good thing.
The club's finished now, and it's a feeling of utter jubilation, I think, that it's finally been done after so many years of hard work, and the community is taken to it well, and they're really getting behind and supporting it, and that's really good to see. Yeah, the future plans for the club is basically as it's always been since the original project was sort of brought into fruition, and that is to merge all the clubs eventually, or have them all come under the one banner and support each other, so that these little mining towns can keep the clubs alive, because without that sort of injection of financial from one major club, a lot of these smaller clubs in towns can't survive, and we want to keep as many clubs alive in town as we can. And so that's the vision of the project, and hopefully the building here will last more than 30 years like the other one did and serve its purpose. Yeah, the thank you list is quite large, and I'll probably see a few of them tonight and thank them personally at the opening, but most importantly, Gordon Galt and the team at Realm Resources, Middlemount South, major financial contributors, and also my employers, Anglo-American, Tom Coldcroft, Stephanie Opperman, and all of their team underneath them have either helped out with financial or in-kind support. It's just been great, and I really think the in-kind support from the community members as well is just as valuable as financial support. Guys like John Campion, Jason Merritt, and just all the volunteers that come down and lent their time for no fee is just amazing. And yeah, I honestly can't thank them enough. After all that relief and jubilation and the stress of the project, I think we can safely say that it'll last more than 30 years of construction. Cheers.
I hope that it does energise the Middlemount community, that there's plenty of memories in the future, and maybe a whole one or two. So thanks very much and enjoy the evening.
Every time it rained, where water fell on everything bar the pavement. We would have kids playing in a playpen that was just over in this corner here, and we'd have a snake over in that corner. It was a minefield. But thankfully, your committee, Jamie, and the community has rallied together and got this. Wow. Well done, guys. Good effort.
Well, there's an enormous amount of life in the mining industry up there, as long as people are making steel with blast furnaces, which I can't see going away in the next 35 plus years. There's an enormous amount of growth yet to go in Asia through China, India and Vietnam, Indonesia, huge populations with lots of requirements for steel, and it'll all be made with Queensland coal.